Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria and today we are doing a collab video. So this video is a collab with Monika and a couple of other people. They will all be linked in the description box down below. So you should check out their videos and subscribe to their channels because they are all wonderful humans. But this is basically going to be some questions about what's on my bookshelf. So I am going to go through the questions and show you some books that are on my bookshelf and maybe recommend you some books. So there are 12 questions, so I'm just going to get right on into them. And the first question is, what is the oldest book that you own? So I collect, I've mentioned a couple times, I collect editions of Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and the oldest book that I own is this little pocket edition of Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if it'll focus. And it is actually in pretty decent condition that I got at a library sale or a thrift shop or something, and it was from the 1940s. That's 1940 specifically is where when this one is from. So that is the oldest book that I have on my shelf, and it is just such a cute little edition. I assume at some point it might have had a dust jacket, but at this point it doesn't, but I just think it's so cute. It's like very small and I love it. The next question is, what is the oldest published book that I have on my shelves? I actually don't know. I didn't want to go through every single one, but I did look at a couple and I assume it would be something on my classics shelf. I don't own that many classics, but I own Pride and Prejudice, and I own The Secret Garden, and I own Wuthering Heights. So those are the only three classics that I think that I own. So I am assuming it's one of those. The next question, number 3, is what's your most recent purchase? And my most recent purchase is actually right here and still in the Amazon package. And that is book 1 and book 2 in this book 1, this book 2 in the Tickled Pink series by Pippa Grant. These are small town billionaire romances where the heroines are actually billionaires, and they are published by Montlake through Amazon. And I'm gonna see Pippa Grant in Chicago for a book signing, and these were really on sale, so they were like $8 each or something like that on Amazon last week, so I picked them up then. The next question is, what is your favorite book on your shelves? That's a very hard question. If we are talking about favorite like editions or like covers that I own, I have always been entirely in love with this cover of Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. I have a Waterstones edition with red sprayed edges, and I just think that everything about this edition, the amount of like work and everything that's in it, the artwork and everything, is so beautiful. I think that the spine is so cool, and I just love the cover and everything about it. So that's one of my favorite books that I happen to own based on like the cover and the way it looks. Another is another edition of Pride and Prejudice, which is this one, which is this like embossed flowered version with these gilded edges. And this book is like heavy. I could like hit someone and hurt somebody with this. So there's a lot of like heft to it. It's just like very high quality feeling. And I just love the cover and how fancy looking it is. The next question is, what is your least favorite book that you own? So there are a couple of covers that I really don't like, but there are none that like I actively like dislike. Honestly, if I don't like the cover, I'm very much likely to not buy the book. One example of a cover that I am not really a fan of is this book called Some Girls Bite. I just think that it looks really cheesy. I don't love the real person, like the way that you can like see her face. And it just looks, it doesn't look appealing. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't reach out and make me like want to read it. So I'm probably gonna just go with that one. The next question is, what author do you own all of their books? And I actually don't have any authors that I own all of their books. I am very close for some authors. So Mariana Zapata is one author who I think I'm only missing like 2 of her books. And another one is Lauren Rowe. I own almost all of Lauren Rowe's books, but a lot of the times there are certain books by an author, even if they're one of my all-time favorite authors, and I don't buy physical books unless I love them. And so sometimes, even if they're my favorite authors, there are books that I don't like from them. So I'm not gonna buy those books, even though they're my favorite authors. So like for Lauren Rowe specifically, I don't own her Club trilogy either, but I don't like her Club trilogy, so I will not be buying that. Another author who I have a series like that is like Gianna Darling. I love Gianna Darling, but I'm never gonna read her Affair series, and so I don't need to own it physically. So there are things like that. One author that I can say that I do own all of their books is Sarah J. Maas. That's the only author who I do actually own, I think, all of their books, because I own the entire Throne of Glass series, I own the entire ACOTAR series, and I own both Crescent Cities. So if there's another Sarah J. Maas book, let me know, but I own all of those. So I think that Sarah J. Maas is the only author who I own all of her books. Number 7 is, what author's books are you still collecting? Literally all of them. Like I just said, Gianna Darling, Lauren Rowe, Eden Finley, Devney Perry, Amy Dawes, there are Kennedy Ryan, there are many, Lucy Score, there are many authors that I absolutely love who I don't have all their books, so I am still collecting them, but I don't buy a lot of physical books because they're expensive, and so I am missing a lot, but eventually I will get them. I also am entirely out of space at this point, and I don't have space in my room for another bookshelf, so I don't know what I'm gonna do when I get more books. They're already starting to be piled in the corner. Number 8 is auto-buy authors. So I have a few. Lauren Rowe, I get another one. Eden Finley is another auto-buy author. Auto-buy authors for me are different because they're auto-buy digitally. I don't buy physical books that I have never read. So auto-buy is a digital thing, so it doesn't really impact my actual bookshelves. But if I do enjoy the auto-buys for the digitals, then I add them to the list of physical books that I do want. So Eden Finley, Lauren Rowe, Mariana Zapata, Amy Dawes are all authors, Sarah J. Maas, are all authors that I consistently like their books, and so I automatically download or buy the audiobooks when they come out, and automatically read them. They are automatically added to my TBRs. I want to read them, and so if I enjoy them, then I will buy them physically or add them to the list to buy physically when I have the opportunity for some money. The next question is, how do you organize your shelves? And this is a little bit weird because I do not have really a system. I kind of organize it by like my own vibe. And so the way that my bookshelves are laid out is I have one bookshelf over here off camera that you can't see that's behind you. And that looks different than the rest of my shelves. It's actually a purple bookshelf, and that's where my favorites go. So that is favorites who I have a lot of their books. So Gianna Darling's over there, Lauren Rowe's over there, Eden Finley's over there, Sophie Lark and a lot of my dark romance books are over there. So that's on that shelf. And then this shelf right here that you can see here, this is my YA shelf. So all my YA books are on it. This one right here behind me that you can't really see is partially historicals and partially childhood books. So like books that are like children's books from when I was little. And then this one is all historicals. And then I have a tall, skinny bookshelf right next to it, which is in like cubes. So it is more authors who are all pretty much favorites, but I don't own enough of their books to fit on this favorite shelf over here. And so I have Helena Hunting and Amy Dawes at the top. I have Carla Sorensen. I have Mariana Zapata. I have Sarah Kate, and I also am mixed in with Sarah Kate is Candy Steiner. And then the bottom is Eden Finley. And then in the farthest bookshelf, I have a large bookshelf that right next to that one. I have all my Sarah J Maas books at the top and all of my Serena Bowen books at the bottom. And then in the middle of those, I have an entire shelf that's entirely Pride and Prejudice. And then I have sort of like small town vibes, which is Claire Kingsley, Lucy Score is there. In the my BK Borison books are there. It's like very like small town vibes. And then I have Kennedy Ryan, and then below that is kind of like a little bit more, all the spines are kind of black and they're a little bit more I don't know, angsty. So The Words is there. I have some other rock star romances are there. It's just kind of like where everything's fit. And then below that I have authors who I don't really read as much, but I don't want to get rid of their books. I did enjoy them when I read them, but I haven't read them in a long time. That's where it is there. So it's like there's not really a whole ton of organization. It works in my head, but if somebody looked at this, there would be no way for them. So it's like not alphabetical. It's not by color. It's not by genre. It's by my liking of them and if they sort of fit in my brain. So it makes sense to me, but it would probably drive a person who's a little bit more like OCD about things very crazy. Number 10 is, do you own any book box editions or special editions? I do. I own a couple. I did grab a stack of them off my shelf. This is not all of them because I didn't want to go around collecting every single one, but I do have some of my favorites. So I have this edition of Hookshot by Kennedy Ryan. I am an absolute sucker. This one's also signed. I'm an absolute sucker for books that have heroines on the cover. So I actually have no freaking idea what book box this is from because I got this secondhand. I did not actually get the book box. I bought the book separately. So I absolutely love this edition. I love the purple. I love the heroine on the cover. I have a Hello Lovely edition of Welcome to the Dark Side by Gianna Darling. I have this edition of Smitten by Lauren Rowe, which is another one that I do not know where it's from, but I love this edition. I have the Mystic Box editions of When Heroes Fall and When Villains Rise by Gianna Darling. I am actually a Mystic Box subscriber, but I have not gotten any boxes from them yet. I am a recent subscriber of Mystic Box. I just got off the wait list. So I actually, Monika, gifted me these Welcome to the, these Anti-Heroes in Love Duet because she was not a fan of the series. I have this Hello Lovely box edition of Credence by Penelope Douglas. I have this Hello Lovely box edition of Sicko by Elmo Jones. I have an absolute prized possession of Mystic Box Sea of Ruin by Pam Godwin. I absolutely love this book. I love this cover. This is another one that could go for like my favorite cover that I have. I love the embossing. I love the actual cover with the like compass on it. I just think that the edges, everything is about it is just absolutely wonderful. I have a Hello Lovely box edition of Shattered Sea by Catherine Cowles. And I have this Indigo Ridge by Devney Perry, which is another one. This one's from Bell Box. This is another one that I did not get the box of. Actually, most of these I didn't get the box of. I didn't get the box of Pam Godwin's. I didn't get the box of Credence. I bought that one separately. I did get the box for Sicko, for Shattered Sea, for Welcome to the Dark Side, and for Smitten. But this one I love. So, oh, and this one also has these like really cool like mountain edges. So those are some of my favorite book box editions. Which goes perfectly into the next question, which is, do you think that book boxes are worth it? I personally have conflicting feelings about book boxes because I think that they are very hard to get, and I think that it makes this like competition between people, and there are so many people who just buy them to resell them, which I think is so wrong. If you are reselling for like the cost that you paid for it, I get it, 100%. You don't like the author, but the people who sell them for like $1,000, I just think that's awful and insane. So again, I have conflicting feelings about book boxes. I have never paid a ridiculous amount of money for any of my book box subscriptions, or any of the book boxes that any of the book box editions that I do have. I don't have a ridiculous amount of money. I barely have enough money as it is, so I get it. So I've been lucky to find ones that people are selling like at cost, or after a long time if they're like just trying to get rid of it at that point, for like less than their original price. So that's how I've gotten a lot of my book. But I do hate the like amount of book boxes that exist at this point, because there are so many and so many people like want every single one, and I hate that they all do like the same author. So like there's like 5 editions of one book, and I'm just like, there are so many other books that you could do. I wish that if there are going to be this many book box options, I wish there was different books in all of them, you know, because there are like 5 boxes that are doing like Penelope Douglas, and I'm like, I get that Penelope Douglas is popular, but there are a bunch of other authors that are also popular that I would like to see book box editions of. You know what I mean? Okay, then the last question, number 12, is what are 3 books that you own that everyone should read? Okay, for 3 books that I think everyone should read, I think the first one that I'm going to go with is Him by Serena Bowen, which is under this giant stack of books. So Him by Serena Bowen and Elle Kennedy. The second one that I'm going to go with is the ACOTAR trilogy. I would specifically just say Court of Mist and Fury, but it's book 2, so you have to at least read book 1 and book 2. And if you're going to read book 1 and book 2, you should read book 3. So that counts as 1. And then for the third one, I'm actually going to go with a historical, and that is Never Seduce a Scot by Maya Banks, which is one of my all-time favorite books. All three of those that I just said are all-time favorite books of mine. So highly, highly, highly recommend. Something for everyone. And that's all. So this video was kind of chaotic. I was a little lazy and didn't want to get all the books off my shelves. I did get quite a few off my shelf, so I have to go put those back. But that's going to be it for this video. So please make sure that you watch the other videos in the collab. Like I said, will link them down below. Thank you to Monika for setting this collab up and creating this questions and everything. But that is going to be it for this video. So I hope that you enjoyed it. I can't wait to watch everyone else's videos. And I hope that you will subscribe and stick around so you can see more videos from me. And I hope that you have the absolute best day. Bye.